Hi guys, I'm Anita and I'm back with another video, and today I'm going to be doing another wrap-up session of the books that I read. I've read another 5 books, and so this video will contain books 46 to 50 of the books that I read this year. The 46th book or thing that I read this year was Saga Volume 5 by Brian K. Vaughan and Fiona Staples. This is obviously the 5th volume of a series, so I can't get into the exact plot of this one without spoiling everything that happened in the first 4. But I really love this series so far. It's one of my favorite graphic novel series, and so I was really happy to be back in this universe. It follows these two, a man and a woman. They're from 2 different planets, and those 2 planets are at war with each other. And by an weird occurrence, when one of them is guarding the other in prison, they fall in love and they escape the prison together, and they have this baby, and this series is actually told from that baby's perspective. So all of the things that she finds out during the whole story. I just love this series so much. There's so many of the side characters and side plots as well that's really unique and interesting. And then the graphics are really interesting. They're pretty gory at times, so it's definitely not for the younger audience. But if you don't mind gory, detailed pictures of, there's nakedness and there's a lot of blood and gore. So if that's not something that you'd like to look at, then definitely skip this. Otherwise, I'll highly suggest you pick it up because it is an overall really great story. I'll try and find some decent pictures that doesn't show anything horrendous. And that's like these pages. So you can see it's pretty decent artwork and pretty easy paneling as well, so it's really easy to read. Yeah, just absolutely love this series, and I ended up giving this a 5 out of 5 stars. I still think that volume 4 is my favorite of the series so far, but I'm really interested in getting to volume 6 and 7 now, because some things that happened in this one that was, and it ended a little hangy. So I really want to get to the next volumes very soon. The 47th book that I read this year was We Should All Be Feminists by Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie. This is a 46 pages novelette, and it's told from, it was an audio I listened to, and it's told from Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie herself. The narration was really great. She's a great narrator. She was really great as telling this short essay. But this is such a broad and big topic that I didn't feel like it was explored very much, because there's only so much you can talk about in 46 pages. It's such an important topic though, because we're still affected a lot about inequality all over the world. Even though I live in Denmark, where I think equality is a lot better than it is in a lot of other countries, I still see pretty often inequality in the workplace and stuff, and places like that. But it's mostly in the overall world that this topic is important to discuss. Yeah, as I said, it's such a broad topic that you couldn't get everything full value of this topic in 46 pages, so for that reason I give this one a 3.5 out of 5 stars, but I definitely am really intrigued to see what Chimamanda Ngozi Adichie as an author. I know that I have access to Americana on my Overdrive library, so I'm definitely going to be checking that out pretty soon. Then the 48th book that I read this year was Full Metal Alchemist Volume 3. This is a manga novel, obviously. And the Full Metal Alchemist series follows these 2 boys who they lost their mother when they were really young. When they were young, that age, they tried to bring their mother back with the knowledge of the alchemy. But something goes wrong, and it ends up with the main character losing his arm and his leg, and instead has a middle arm and middle leg. And the other brother loses his whole body, so he's basically just a suit of armor. Yeah, so his soul is captured in this suit of armor. This particular volume, they're trying to find the Philosopher's Stone again in order to hopefully for them to get rid of these not real limbs and stuff. Yeah, so this was that quest, and I'm not gonna go into more details about the plot because they're short and they're really fast-paced and fun, and I end up giving it a 4 out of 5 stars. I'm really enjoying this manga series so far. And I forgot to mention, this manga series is written by Hiromu Arakawa. The 49th thing that I read this year was Maud by Terry Pratchett. This is the 4th book in the Discworld series, but it's also the 1st book in the Death series. So this particular book, this follows Maud, who is a young boy, and his father wants him to become an apprentice for someone because his father is afraid that his son won't get nowhere because he has some odd ways compared to a lot of others. So his father is trying to get him an apprenticeship, and he ends up becoming the apprentice of Death, as Death is seeking an apprentice to help him with his work, because he has, I don't know what you're gonna say, it's sort of a midlife crisis thing, even though his dad is not, he's immortal and all of that, but it was pretty fun. Anyway, up until this point in time, whenever Death has showed up in other books, I've always really thought he was the favorite side character. Sort of, it was so sarcastic and witty and had some really fun quotes. Yeah, and I really enjoyed that, so I was really looking forward to getting into this book. And it definitely didn't disappoint. There was a lot of laugh out loud moments from when Death had some scenes, and I also had a real blast getting to know Maud as a character and as the way that he developed through this book. I overall just really enjoyed it. This is my favorite Terry Pratchett book so far, and I end up giving it a 5 out of 5 stars. The 50th and final book that I read this year so far for this round, for this video, whatever you want to call it, was The Oyster Academy by Lemony Snicket. This is book 5 in the Serious and Unfortunate Event series. As I said before about these books, I really enjoy the writing style. I think Lemony Snicket has such a fun way of writing when he's just the way that he uses sophisticated words for kids that they don't know. And then he, like, in the same sentence afterwards, he explains on their level what this word means so they can learn it for future use, I guess. And that's just always an enjoyment to read. Even though I know the words, it's still really fun to see him describing it in a way that everyone would be able to know what it means. And as usual, I enjoy these books overall. I just think that it's weird how obnoxiously stupid the adults, all of the adults are. They are very narrow-minded and they're always really stupid, and how that the kids always best these people, I'm really surprised about. There's Violet, Claus and Sunny. They form a friendship with, what are they called? I don't know what they're called in English, but it's a group of triplets. Oh, well, 2 of the triplets. Anyway, they form a sort of friendship with some people in this one. And we haven't really seen that before, that someone else was helping them with their case. So that was a really interesting thing that happened in this book. And this ended with a bit of a cliffhanger, so I'm definitely intrigued to see what's going to happen in the next volume, and hopefully some of the things that this ended with will be resolved in that. Highly enjoyable read, but I still think that The Reptile Room is my favorite so far, and so this will be a 3.5 out of 5 stars for me. So yeah, these were all of the books that I read this round. Let me know in the comments down below if you've read any of the books and what you thought of them, if you're interested in picking any of the books up that after what I've been talking about. About the Discworld series, you can obviously start with either series if you want to. I personally am reading in the Discworld order because I'm weird like that and I can't really read a series out of order, even though it's not really out of order if you're sort of reading the sub-series chronologically. But I just want to know these things as they go on in the Discworld, and that's why I read them in a certain Discworld order that is on Goodreads. So yeah, This is all I had for you today. If you liked the video, please give it a thumbs up, subscribe to my channel if you haven't already, and I'll see you in my next video very soon. Goodbye!